Hey everybody, Steve here again with another video trying to give you some great education about buying rental properties, buying them profitably, buying them with equity, um, building wealth, all the things that all these other videos I've been doing talking about that. And this is no different, just trying to give you some good information based on how we have bought properties over the years through buying them wrong at the beginning and learning over time much better ways to buy rental properties, being much more profitable about buying rental properties, buying them with actual equity in it instead of buying them with very little or no equity in them like we did in the beginning. Just want to share this information with you, educate you the best I can, and share exactly what we do so you can go out and hopefully buy rental properties and build some great wealth for yourself, for your family, things that you can carry on, your family can carry on. And that's, kind of what the end goal is here, especially when it comes to rental properties. But there's also a lot of other exit strategies we can use after we own rental properties. There's things we can do. I'm not talking about that in this video, but just throwing that out there. So let me go to my screen share here and we'll go on this next video. Now, this is something that's really important, but I don't hear a lot of people ever talk about this. So I wanted to obviously talk about it. So, but a question I get a lot from a lot of people is, how much can I pay for a rental property? I have people ask me that all the time. How much can I pay for a rental property? Well, there's a lot of factors in how much you can pay for a rental property. But I think the biggest factor to determine your maximum offer is going to be the cost of your money. Where are you getting your financing from? That's so important. And when you're getting your financing, like, for us, many of our rental properties we took down with private lenders at a higher interest rate, and then we refinanced them out once we got them rehabbed and got a tenant in them. That's been kind of a common way that we have done it. Because in many cases, you can't get bank financing or right out of the gate. If there's a big rehab that has to be done on the property, or anything over $3,000 or $4,000, chances are a bank is not going to finance you right out of the gate, unless you've got a good relationship with a bank. A mortgage company is not going to finance you in those situations. So for us to just eliminate all that, we take property down with a private lender, and in the earlier years, we paid that 12%. We don't pay anywhere near that now, but if I had a deal and the numbers worked, I would pay that in a heartbeat, wouldn't even hesitate. So the cost of your money is going to determine a lot. So knowing what the cost of your money is, figuring that out, having a plan for that now before you go into this deal is really going to help you structure how you're buying a deal. So for example, when I'm buying a rental property and the numbers still work and I'm still profitable when I'm buying it, and I'll use the example of paying, a private lender 12%, and my numbers work at that 12%. I know that when I go and refinance that property out and I bring my interest rate way down, and my numbers are going to go out off the charts good. So you have to kind of think about it that way. That's just what I look at when I'm looking at the situation of a rental property. Let me go to the next slide here. So we're going to go through a little exercise, and I'm going to give you an example. And this is actually an example of very real numbers, and I have done this many times over the years with my rental properties. And if you've seen any of my other rental properties, you know that if I can find rental properties, the ARV and that 80 to 120, 130, 140 range, that's really my sweet spot. So let's just walk through how I really look at this. So my example, if I can buy a house that my all-in cost is $80,000. Now let me explain my all-in cost. My all-in cost is the acquisition of that property and the rehab that I'm going to do on that property. And those numbers could work in a variety of ways. It could be $40,000 to buy the property, $40,000 for the rehab. It could be, 60-40, it could be all kinds of combinations. It doesn't matter. This is my all-in cost. And I do not include my closing cost on my all-in cost. That doesn't have anything to do with my all-in cost. So I'm using hard money as an example here, but I've always been a private money guy. But like I said, I've paid 12% in the past many times to take deals down. So if I have a 12% interest rate, that's going to give me a payment of $800 a month on that $80,000. Now, that doesn't include my taxes and insurance. So you have to add that cost into that number. Now, hopefully when you're going into this and I'm taking this property down, this should be for a short period of time. This is not a long-term number that you want to work with if you don't have to. Now, I have had rental properties where our numbers still worked in this situation at that higher interest rate, and we've kept it at that higher interest rate for a longer period of time for a variety of different reasons. That doesn't matter, but the idea is to get that property bought, get the rehab done, and get it refinanced out. So when we go to refinance out, there's a variety of ways that many of us can refinance, and that's going to be different for everybody depending on your particular situation. The two examples I'm giving here are examples of what I have done personally with deals just like this. So I go to refinance a property. I'm going to get a 12% interest rate on a 20-year amortized note. And this is not, like I said, this doesn't include taxes and insurance on all these examples. That has to be added in the end. That's still part of your expense. But look what I just did by getting a 20-year amortized note at 7%. I just dropped my payment down to $620 a month. That's a huge drop, because that's money that's going back into the profitability of that property, or going back in to cover those expenses to give me more cushion, more padding, so I do have profit in that property at the end of the year. Then another example, and I've seen this done before, I always go with 20-year amortized notes myself personally, but you can do 30-year in a lot of cases. And if you're doing 30-year, you can get 5% interest. Right now, while I'm doing this, at the time that I'm doing this video right now, you can get 5% on investment properties. As a matter of fact, we refinanced 3 out 2 months ago at 4.75%. So, but that's the number that's going to fluctuate. It's going to go up and down for whatever is happening out there in the economy. We don't have control over that. But in this example, 5% on a 30-year amortized note. Now my payment dropped to $429 a month. That's almost half of what I was paying when I took it down. So you see the huge decrease I've just given myself on my monthly payment. That's huge for having profitability in that property at the end of the year, hopefully. Very important to be able to do these things. So, how much can you pay for a property is going to depend on the cost of your money. Now, in some situations, can you go in and get your money cheaper than that 12% right out of the gate? You certainly can. You certainly can. I'm trying to go with some examples now. When I first started buying rental properties, again, when I got back into buying rental properties the way I buy them now, oftentimes when I took them down, I did pay 12%. 12% was very common for where I was at that time in my career with my private lenders. Obviously, I have a lot more experience now, and I have a lot more properties, and those numbers are different. But this is a very for real number. And if you're newer at doing this, and you're using private money, even if you're using hard money, you're going to find these interest rates are very for real. Doesn't mean, take it down. If the numbers work, take that property down, because keep in mind, you're going to refinance it out. And at the end of the day, what are my numbers going to look like after I get past that refinance? What are my numbers going to look like for the next 20 years? That's the important number that I'm looking at. If I have a temporary number where I'm a little bit higher, I'm not too worried about that, if I know I can change that on the refi. So just a very good example, very realistic example of the cost of your money making a huge difference in how you buy your properties. So that was a very for real life example. I've got many properties, rental properties, that those numbers fit very, very close, maybe not exact, but very close to that. And you can see how I just increased the profitability of that property by bringing the cost of my money down. Cost of your money is everything. So hope that's very insightful to you. Hope you got a lot out of that video. That was one of those things that was really important to me. And once I understood that, it's really helped me to go out and buy a lot more properties and not be necessarily as so afraid to take it down if my numbers are a little higher when I take it down, because I know where I'm going to be at once I refi. Makes a big difference. So hope this helps. Hope you got some great information out of this. Let me know. Give me some likes. Go join our YouTube channel. Get your friends to come and join us. Keep following us, and we will see you very soon on another video. Till then, have a great day. Bye.